Hello, good morning. So I'm gonna just lead you through an improv situation, and you can come back to it and use this video as many times as you want, but I also have just the first 5 songs that we're gonna be using on the playlist, at the top of the playlist. So if you wanna not use the guided vocals, that's fine too. I'll talk you through it and then we'll do sort of like a plank strengthening conditioning thing, and then we'll take a really quick stretch. Okay, here we go. Lay down and find an X. And just take a second to come into the space. I'll be doing this with you, so if you need visual cues, feel free to check. But as always, don't worry about how it looks. And instead just focus on what you're feeling. So we're going to be moving through a slow motion improv. So really take some time to actually slow down your breath. Really focusing on the belly, slowly rising. Slowly falling, and bringing that slow quality to almost the cellular level. So that for the next 15-20 minutes, like a floor adagio, you're really just moving in slow motion. Allow that breath to start to become muscular. So the abdominals are starting to contract, but slowly and with control. Notice where tension might be building and try to let that go. So maybe the hip flexors or thighs are starting to fire up, but really let that go. And instead just focus on the abdominals starting to engage. Maybe you can start to feel the organs moving. Maybe you're coordinating this with that slow, methodical breathing. Start to allow that movement from the abdominals to radiate into the spine. So you might feel the low back press into the floor. You might feel the spine start to move laterally side to side, which in turn might take the hips. You might start to feel the pelvis release. Feel the juiciness of the glutes relaxing on the floor. And remembering qualitatively you're moving through this slowly, so whatever movement you feel that's radiating from the abdominals is slow. And you're aware of every moment, every movement. Start to allow that abdominal movement to begin to radiate through the rib cage, deeper into the pelvis. Some movement of the thighs, some rotation inward and outward in the hips. But still aware of what the fingers are doing, how the head is moving. Remembering that all the movement is controlled and initiated by the abdominals. So even if you feel the fluidity from tailbone through to skull, You're controlling the way that that fluidly moves through the spine. Start to feel this move all the way through the limbs. Feel the way the body can slide and glide on the floor. Especially if you have a slippery floor, notice how you can put pressure into one point and then move the body around that point. Almost like a promenade for the floor. Continuing to fill up your awareness of the whole body. Moving in this slow, methodical, dynamicless place. Continuing to give thought to that initiation being your abdominal center. And then feeling how the body moves and responds from there. As your body starts to heat up, start to increase the amount of distortion that the shapes are creating. Testing the way you can balance on these different pressure points. Seeing what limbs you can take off the floor. Starting to find that push-pull that we talked about briefly, where you're feeling how the hand, forearm can become a pivot point for you to slide around. You're really starting to test the weight in the hands and arms. And allowing the legs to sweep around that pivot point. Check in with that dynamic quality that you've been working with. haven't started to feel feet on the floor, exploring this pivot point action, this push and pull on a slightly higher level. Start to do so. Wherever you are, find your way into a plank. Take a second just to arrive. Pulling the tailbone down, abs pulling in. And then that push and pull action, we're just gonna pull forward, push back. 4 times. 3, forward, back. 2, forward, back. Last one. Forward, all the way back, lowering onto the forearms. And again, forward, back, forward, back. 3, and 4. Lower all the way down. Push all the way out. Then we're gonna pull forward all the way into an up dog. If you'd like to start in sort of a cobra action, that's fine. And then we're gonna push into the right side, creasing your left hip. Release to the floor, again, pulling up. Feel the forearms on the floor. Hands to up dog. Forearms come back. Release. Into your left side so your right hip can crease. And again. One more time each side. And release. Keep breathing. And last time. Feel your triceps burning? Me too. Pull it all the way up and through. Last time, up dog. And then tuck the toes, lift the hips. Down dog. Just take a second here. Breathe. Find this supposed resting pose. Pedal through the feet. Let your head be heavy. And we're coming back to the plank. And we're going to take 4. You're bringing your feet to your wrists. Here we go, lifting the hips up. And release. 2. 3. Heavy head. Last one. Up. And we're going to snail through. Pull the feet through. Lifting the hips. I'm just going to scoot back and also diagonal myself so you can see these back arms. And we're going to go into each arm. forearm down, up and over. Up, 2, up, 2, halfway there, 2 more, up, hold, 3, last one. Good, then we're sending the right arm up and over into a plank. Okay, take a little rest. Stretch out the wrists. We have just one more, which you can go straight into if you do this series again, just skip ahead. Focusing on the forearm as well as this hand planting into the floor, you're gonna utilize the hand that's planted. It's gonna bend in here. You really wanna use this hand. It's like a precursor to all of this balancing stuff that we'll continue working on. But you wanna use that elbow to almost press into your belly. So that's that press there. I know it's a bit hard to see. It's pretty important. You don't want to let this arm come up towards the ceiling because you just have literally no leverage. So you want to allow that elbow to press in towards the belly, as we're often talking about with these hooks that we're making. Hook is not the right word, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's try these little windshield wiper actions. So we just came up and over from that plank. You're gonna lower the forearm down, place this hand where you need it, and then relax this bottom leg onto the floor to pull. My hip is staying off the floor, and then I'm gonna push, lift. Just sliding along the knee, the outside of the leg. Push, that's 3. Here's our last one. Really push against the belly and floor, switching sides. Use this elbow, push, and pull. Good, notice how the shoulder is gonna come down till you get the leverage to push. 2 more. 3, pull, and 4. Release onto your back. Hug the knees in. Just take a second. Maybe stretch out the wrists. And then we'll just take an easy spine stretch. So folding your right leg in, it doesn't matter which side really. Pull it into the chest, out towards the armpit, and then send it across. Send it across. And release. All right, give the legs a shake, give the hands a shake. Shake, 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 shake. And then release, come back to that X. Breathe. Feel that buzzing energy in the body. All right. Happy improv warm up. Goodbye.